Hi, I'm Brian Lord, Senior Vice President here at Premier Speakers Bureau, and I'm excited to have on Lora, a professional event planner who actually ended up marrying Steve, a professional speaker. And so they're kind enough to share with us some ideas on how event planners and speakers can work together to have a great event. So Lora, for AV needs, I know that comes up a lot with events. How do you want to handle, how is the best way for you to handle AV? What information do you need from the speaker? How do you like things to run? Tell me about that.
Well, as far as AV goes, nothing's perfect. There's always a hiccup, no matter how much you prepare, and so you really have to be prepared for the hiccups. Really, there's always going to be feedback, always. So you have to be prepared for that, and you cannot expect perfection with AV. Now, obviously, you're dealing with professionals, or maybe you're dealing with one guy or one girl at a hotel, small hotel, and that's okay too. And preparation, talking to them numerous times, always considering, is there going to be a monitor? Is there going to be a confidence monitor? Do we need that? Always thinking about whose laptop are we going to use? Whose remote are we going to use? Everybody has a remote. The AV guys have a remote. I have a remote. We have a plethora of remotes, but they don't always work together as well as Steve and I do. So
yeah. I think that all the problems that I see happen, and they don't happen every day, but they happen. Normally, they could have been dealt with prior to being on site. That there's miscommunications prior or no communication, and sometimes it's my fault, or sometimes it's both of our fault. I think most of them can be taken care of what the expectations are. But I can tell you that sometimes you can say 5 times, we must have a confidence monitor for this size of room, and you get there and it's not there. It's just a detail to the meeting planner. To the speaker, it makes them look like a prima donna to go, remember that confidence? And they're like, I know you said that, but I don't really have time to, but it's important. Speakers don't ask for things just to be asking for them. It isn't like the proverbial blue M&M being pulled out of from a rock and roll writer. There are certain things that are basics that make our jobs better, make us do a better job for meeting planners. So I would just say getting the expectations up front. Of course, there's going to be trouble on site. The most common trouble I see actually is the unexpected. Electrical problems happen a lot. We just had a big storm here this weekend. That causes problems. The second big one is the unexpected, which is the leadership team has come up with a new idea an hour before the beginning, and they need to jam it in somehow. Literally, they got it on a thumb drive. We got to jam it into, now whose computer are we going to use? And instead of the 3, we have to get down to 1. All these things happen the last second. There's nothing that the meeting planner could have done or I could have done. What we have to do is react in the moment and try to make do as best we can in the moment. Honestly, I was in Cancun. Sounds very pretentious, but we're doing a big event in Cancun, and a storm came up, and everything went. Everything went, but the power generator came back up, the auxiliary power. So now we don't have any AV. I'm talking to a room of 600 probably.
Wow.
And so I'm shouting. And I have visuals? No, I don't have. And so I'm just shouting to a room that's half lit, and it worked beautifully. It was one of the better events we've ever done.
That's right.
So you can look at it as, oh my gosh, it's a tragedy when AV goes wrong, or you can try to use it to your advantage. In this case, I was able to walk the room and shout out and use the room and have them shout back, and it turned out to be a great thing. I actually, you don't plan for it, but I wouldn't want to do it every day, but in that instance, it worked out okay.
I would also say that just being nice, just being genuine and nice to the AV crew, that it goes a long way. It really does. It seems so simple, but just being really nice and appreciative, because those guys and girls work hard. It's
so true. Brian, I know you come from a music background, and I do too. One of the first things I do when I show up is I know if they're on an AV team, they're music fans. Whether they were in bands or they were in, they are music fans. And they see the suit show up, and they think that we don't have anything in common. One of the first things I do is introduce myself, can't wait to work with you, and by the way, here's my band's music. And they go, really? And I never say throw it in, but they just start going. I see one of the guys tearing it open, they start playing it. Now we're on the same team.
Right.
And so I think it's good for the meeting planners to think the same way. Sometimes the AV team feels like they are hidden, and they're supposed to be out of sight. but you need to keep in mind that they're just as vital to the thing as the speaker or the serving crew. They're vital, and so to keep them involved I think is critical to a good event.
Definitely.
Yeah. So to sum up, be nice and be in a band. Those are the things. So, well, Lora and Steve, thank you so much for doing these interviews. Make sure to tune in. We've got more interviews on off stage, on site, and also regarding customization, session timing. So make sure to tune in. Subscribe to this channel for more interviews with Lora and Steve. Thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it.